Hey besties, today we're gonna talk about the best piece of life advice I've ever been given. Throughout my life, I've been lucky enough to have some incredible mentors. They've come in all shapes and sizes, and I've met them through various different networks. Some were my teachers, some were coworkers, and other folks I just met through random happenstance. But this specific story came from an unlikely source. My college roommate. Yes, the same person I was taking classes and going to parties with, someone just a year older than me, provided some of the best advice I've ever gotten. It's a big part of how I became a millionaire, and in this video, I'm gonna break down why. I know that this advice will serve you just like it served me, and a few of you might already know, but I'm Vivian, your rich BFF and your favorite Wall Street girly, and I hope you choose to implement this principle into your daily life. Please like, comment, and subscribe to learn more about being good with your money. Let's get to it. Okay, so I know this is going to sound crazy, but the best piece of advice I've ever gotten was that you don't have to earn rest. What? Vivian, I thought this advice was going to make me a millionaire. You promised me hustle culture, wealth, abundance, not this soft self-care mumbo jumbo. Hold on, just give me a second to explain. This piece of advice is unfortunately something that I didn't really learn until, well, recently. But productivity can feel like a hamster wheel we can't get off. Have you ever felt guilty for taking a much-needed Sunday nap? For leaving work a little early because you needed to make your kiddo's sporting event or piano recital? For not working on a weekend when you were backed up at work? In our modern day and age, it can feel like the rat race is never ending. And while I definitely felt this working on Wall Street and in tech and media, I've never felt it more acutely than as my own boss. I quit my full-time job end of last March to take your rich BFF full-time. And in the first 6 months, there wasn't a single day where I wasn't actively working. In my mind, I had taken this massive risk to venture out on my own, and I needed to make it count. That meant every moment I spent hanging out with friends, getting dinner with my boo, or even just mindlessly watching TV was stressful to me. My rationale was that in theory, as my own boss, I could always be doing something. Whether that was ideating content, filming, editing, or just thinking about what other lines of businesses I wanted to explore, I was 100% work 100% of the time. I refused to take a break, but our bodies have a funny way of calling it quits long before our minds do. After months of nonstop working and grinding without so much as a second to take a break, I got sick. Really sick. I'm talking stuck in bed all day for a week sick, and there wasn't much I could do about it. In my sickly state, my girlfriend from college happened to call me, and we got to talking about how I was tired and bedridden, and she told me a story that really helped to change my perspective. My friend told me the story of the goose that laid the golden eggs. And for context, I didn't grow up with this story because my parents are Chinese immigrants, so we had our own parables, and I'd never heard this one. But long story short, there's this farmer who has a goose that lays a golden egg every single day. And the farmer and his wife assumed that meant there must be this enormous hunk of gold inside the goose producing these golden eggs. So the farmer, looking for a quick payday, kills the goose. And surprise, surprise, there's no gold in the goose. It's just a regular bird. Not only has he slaughtered this golden egg-laying goose, but he's not getting rich quick. And when my friend told me the story, I was like, oh, yeah, this is a good analogy as to why getting rich quick doesn't work. I'm gonna share it with my audience. Thanks for the content suggestion, I guess. But then she looked me dead in the eye and said, no. This wasn't an idea for your YouTube videos or your Instagram. You're the goose. And I was like, what? And she said, if you don't take care of yourself, if you kill yourself trying to do everything all at once at hyper speed, what makes you think you're gonna be able to keep performing at 100% and reach your goals? But she was right. Moral of the story, you are your biggest asset. So don't kill the goose that lays the golden eggs by being short-sighted. You could end up destroying a good thing. You. Oftentimes, our lives aren't a sprint, but rather a marathon. You want longevity and stability, and burnout is not going to help you achieve either. My friend followed up by saying, you don't need to create 5 videos before you can rest. You don't need to write 2 chapters of your book before you can rest. You don't need to record a podcast episode before you can rest. You are deserving of rest. You are allowed to be Go-Go Power Rangers turbo mode one day and then feel like a sad slug the next. That's how life works. People who say they give 110% every single day are one, bluffing, and two, don't understand how percentages work. Your job, your work, and your hustle are only a small fraction of what makes you you, and ascribing every ounce of worth to that isn't dependable, much less healthy. We've recently seen some major layoffs for folks whose identity was deeply tied to what they did for a living. And unfortunately, corporations are gonna do what's best for them. So you need to as well. You're allowed to protect your peace and have passions and obligations outside of just work, even if those passions include just watching Netflix and eating popcorn. You are not the lines on your resume, and the goal should be to go far, not fast. As people begin to settle into the new year and their work, remember to protect your golden goose, you. I hope this video was helpful and gave you some fresh perspective. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a comment and share what was the best piece of life advice you've ever gotten. See ya, besties.